So as I said, my name is Linda Young, the Senior Manager for Undergraduate Recruitment at TU Dublin. And this evening, we're going to talk a little bit about TU Dublin itself, who we are and what we offer, but also then we're going to focus specifically in on our Access Foundation programme, TU 699, and the programme coordinator, Susan Benson, is going to be here, and she's going to be talking to us about the detail behind that programme and how, if you want to make an application, you can do that. A little bit later on, then we're going to talk to some of our students. We have a current student here. Ava is going to talk to you about her current experience in the programme and how she's enjoying it. And then we also have Paul, who is a former student in this programme and I believe doing a PhD at the moment. So guys, as you can see straight away, loads of opportunity there. During the student chat there, my colleague is going to open up the chat functionality so that you can pop your questions in. And once you pop your questions in, then we're going to address a lot of those questions after we've had the opportunity to hear from our students. So I would ask you maybe not to put personal details into the question functionality. Susan is going to give you her contact details, and we'll give you the admissions contact details as well towards the end of the session if you've something specific to ask us about yourself. But by all means, put in all of your general questions. We're more than happy to answer them. But hopefully we will have addressed a lot of what you need to hear as the session goes on. So again, we'll be here for approximately 1 hour, and at the end of the session, what we will do is this video will be actually sent out by email. So if you want to go back and listen to anything, by all means, you can go back at that stage. All the contact details are in there, etc., and you can have a look at it. And we will be publishing it to the course page as well. So plenty of time to look back, and if there's any answers that you need, we'll address them in here. Okay, so just to give you a brief overview of TU Dublin, to start off with. TU Dublin, for those of you that don't know, is a relatively new university established in 2019. Very, very large university, one of the largest universities in the country. We've about 3,500 staff members, just under 30,000 students studying with us, a variety of nationalities, and across 5 locations in Dublin. These are some other technological universities across the world, and while technological universities are fairly new to Ireland, that's not the case elsewhere, and some of the best known universities in the world are technological universities. I point to that one down there in the bottom corner, Massachusetts Institute of Technology would be very well known, but the thing about technological universities being across the world is that your qualification from TU Dublin is very internationally recognised, because while technological universities are new to Ireland, they are not new to the rest of the world, and a lot of students will travel with their qualifications. So it's good to know that your qualifications are internationally recognised. Just to give you a bit on the campus locations, and this is going to be important for you. The locations are in Angel Street, Blanchardstown, Bolton Street, Grangegorman and Tala. So guys, Angel Street, Bolton Street and Grangegorman are in Dublin city centre, and then Blanchardstown is obviously in the Blanchardstown location, and Tala in Tala. So just to give you an overview of where we were based. Now in your first year, you will study in one location, and I believe that is in Angel Street. But after that, then, depending on which programme you choose, you may move to a different location. So obviously you'll get plenty of advice on all of that through the course, but just bear in mind that we are spread across different locations. So just to give you an overview of kind of what we offer at TU Dublin, coming into the Access Foundation programme, you're preparing to come in as an undergraduate student. You're basically preparing to start university. It's more or less a pre-university programme where you're preparing to go into a specific area in university. But at TU Dublin, we have a huge offering. So there's lots and lots of choice, and students come in and they study all types of different areas. At the moment, we're running about 140 undergraduate programmes across 12 different discipline areas. We also have about 2,500 postgraduate students coming into us every year. So again, as I mentioned, TU Dublin is a very large university. These are the areas that we offer programs in at undergraduate level. So for you coming in on that Access Foundation program, you're going to be thinking about the area that you want to progress to when you finish that year. And these are the different areas that we offer in TU Dublin. So just to give you a little bit of an overview of those, just up here on the left, you have architecture and built environment. Architecture, obviously self-explanatory, but built environment then is the built world around us. So you're looking at things in there like construction, quantity surveying, town planning, all that type of thing. Business then, very, very big at TU Dublin. We have a number of business programs running across 3 locations in Tala, in Blanchestown and in Angel Street. So again, if business is what you want to study after you've progressed through your year, you have options of studying on a variety of locations. Moving along then to computing, data and mathematics. Computing is available in Blanchestown, Tala and in Grangegorman in the Central Quad. So again, you're looking to the area that you want to study in and deciding which course is good for you, as well as considering the location. The creative arts, the design and media programs are based in, creative arts is predominantly based in Grangegorman. Our media programs then are based across Blanchestown, Tala and Grangegorman. So that's what we're offering there. Culinary and hospitality. Culinary, hospitality and tourism are offered in Grangegorman and in Tala. So again, a couple of options for you depending on where you live and what you decide to study. Engineering is the biggest discipline area in the university, offered across 4 locations. So we've a very wide variety of engineering options in TU Dublin. And again, depending on what you choose to study, you may be, for example, want to study sustainable engineering, that would mean Tala, or if you want to study mechatronic engineering, that may mean Blanchestown. But again, as you go through your year, you can kind of decide what stream you want to do, and you'll be well informed about the different options and the progression for you after your first year. Law is another subject area that we offer. Law with languages is also there, and business and law. We have languages in the university normally paired with another subject. So what that means, guys, for you is if you decide to study something like international business and languages or international tourism, you're getting not only your languages, but you're getting a whole discipline area as well. Music and drama then. Music, you have to audition for these programs. So for the most part, a lot of you may not be thinking of these, but that's not to say maybe you want to go along that route. If you've studied music previously and you have that skill, you might decide that you want to go and study music, or again, drama, you need to audition for that. The sciences then spread across our Tala and Grangegorman locations. We have our sciences, but then we have our health-based programs as well. So the sciences are the physics, chemistry, biology style programs, pharmaceutical. Again, a broad range there of different options within those areas. And then we have our health-based programs. So that's things like human nutrition, optometry, and clinical measurement science. So guys, clinical measurement science, that's, a lot people studying that are working in hospitals. They're diagnosing various illnesses using diagnostic equipment. So maybe if you want to go into the health service, that might be an option for you. Tight with the places on those ones, guys, but we have seen students come from this program before into those areas. So it is an option if you want to go there. Social sciences and education. I know a lot of students who did the Access Foundation program are particularly interested, and I know Susan's going to discuss that a little bit further on in the social care area. So under social sciences, we have our social care programs. So again, available in Blanchestown, Tala and in Grangegorman. But we also have our community and youth development program, which again, in the social science area, students that are interested in studying social care also tend to be very interested in that program as well. And that's based on our Blanchestown campus. Early childhood care and education then is available in Blanchestown, in Tala and in Grangegorman. So you can see there's a common theme as I'm going through these. A lot of our discipline areas kind of overlap and are offered in a variety of locations. And for students, that means that they can go and study in a campus that is near them, that suits them, and that really works for them. Because guys, the less time you spend traveling, the more time you can spend studying and enjoying your life, rather than being on a bus or train for 2 hours a day. So that's another key consideration that you're going to need to make. But again, as you go through your year, Susan will be there to assist you with all of that, and she'll help you make the best decisions for you. Finally, then onto sports and leisure. So sports and leisure, our final discipline here. We're offering sports science then in our Tala campus, which is very much geared towards the science behind sport and performance, nutrition, that type of stuff. Within the sports science program. Then we have our sports and coaching in the Blanchestown program. Or Blanchestown campus, should I say, while it is, it's a business program as well. So looking at sports, coaching and business, quite similar to sports and leisure, which is also a business-based program. You'll be doing a lot of the business element of sport, but also the leisure aspect of it, the training and the outdoor stuff, etc. So that's just a really, really quick scoot through what we offer at TU Dublin. I think I've done that in about 5 minutes. And believe me, if you went in and read every single program in the university, it would take a lot longer. But I did just want to give you a kind of overview of the outcomes for you when you get to the end of that year. And the opportunities that you'll have, and the opportunities that this program really opens up for you, because you can see there we have a huge offering in TU Dublin, and we take a lot of students every year through the Access Foundation program and successfully into all of these different areas. So, and you're going to hear, as I said, a little bit later on from our students. So just to give you also a bit of detail then in relation to the actual lifestyle within the university. So we do have a number of sports and leisure clubs as well. While you're here doing your Access Foundation program, you will obviously get to know all the people in your class and some of your lecturers, but it is nice to engage in some of the extracurricular activities in the university. It helps, blow off a bit of steam. It also helps you to get to know some of the other students in the university. It'll help you integrate better, and people tend to enjoy it more when they are, doing various things within the university. So these are just some of our sports. We've a huge host of sports in the university, offering from, beginners to elite level. You will hear TU Dublin on the radio. They're in the Sigerson. They're in various different cups. And because we're such a huge university, we tend to compete well at those very high levels. But there's also lots to do just at beginners level. So, maybe to try something new. Just moving along there. And we also have societies then. Guys, a lot of people are like, I'm not into sports, but maybe there's something that I am into. So you can see the dance, chess, circus and juggling, DJ, astronomy. There's lots of other societies as well. And I would say to you, if you're a mature student, we have a mature student society, and it's just to get to know some people that will help you really enjoy university and getting through university. These are some of our student supports, and you're going to need these as you go through your Access Foundation program and ultimately as you go through university. Okay, it is a big commitment to come to university. So if you're coming, you may as well avail of everything that's available to you. So we do offer very clear career guidance in the university. Once you have decided on a discipline area, you can go to the career service in that area. They'll talk to you about the different opportunities, help you with CVs. They have CV workshops. They come into class. They bring employers in. The guys in the career service really, have a wide net, and they're there to help you and come through and be successful at the end. We have a free health service here in the university for full-time students of the university. So if you're unwell, you go down to the doctor or the nurse and they will help you. We do have financial aid assistance within the university. When you become a registered student of TU Dublin, you can apply for extra financial aid. For example, you know, for books or for a laptop, or, you know, if you have a child, maybe if you need assistance with a creche or something like that. So we do have a really good service there, which can help you. Our Maths Learning Centre is for students who are struggling maybe with mathematics in their programme. So, for example, if you are doing kind of a maths-based programme and you need some extra help, you can go along there and they will give you some assistance there. And guys, that's all free, and it's really like maths grinds. We've our disability service for students who have a disability. If you're a student with a disability, once you come into the university, definitely register with them. If you need extra time, for example, at exams, or if you need any other assistance, you can be assessed and we will give you some extra assistance. We do have a free counselling service within the university. Again, if you run into any difficulties, you can book an appointment there and they will give you some assistance. And the Academic Writing Centre, I know for a lot of you coming back for the first time, maybe not having done a leaving cert, or maybe not having been in school for years and years and years, I think one of the key things that people are really worried about is that academic writing piece and that maths piece. You're going to get plenty of assistance within that Access Foundation programme, but separately we do have that Academic Writing Centre there, where you can go and they can give you extra assistance in terms of getting that right, because that's just going to make a huge difference to you overall grade wise, if you learn how to get really good at that academic writing. You know, and definitely within your Access Foundation program, that's going to be a key thing. They're going to really help you there, but don't forget that there is support there for you, even if you want to get extra support. So guys, everything that you need to find out about TU Dublin is all, you know, an undergraduate entry is all on our CAO hub. If you want to go and have a look at the different courses, find out more about this entry route, etc. And if you have any questions, you can go to our main TU Dublin page, tudublin.ie, and you'll see a little box and it just has CAO hub. Click in there. You can have a read of everything there. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce you to our coordinator, who's going to talk to you specifically about our Access Foundation programme. So Susan, I'd like to welcome you to take over the presentation from me. I'm going to move the slides along for you, Susan, but just to introduce you, are you there?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Linda.
Great.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks a million, Susan. So, Susan, you're going to talk a little bit to everybody just in detail about what the programme is, yeah, and what the aim is. So if you want to go ahead there.
Thanks a million, Linda. Thanks for that. Welcome, everybody. My name is Susan. I am the programme coordinator for the AFP, the Access Foundation programme. And I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown through. First of all, actually, sorry, welcome everybody. And I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown about the programme. So the programme aim is widening participation in higher education through creating opportunities for people and communities who have traditionally been underrepresented in third level education. So, and just to say that educational opportunities are a right, not a privilege. So that's the aim of the programme. What is the AFP? The TU 699 Access Foundation programme is so we're a 1-year full-time access to our higher education programme at TU Dublin. So the aim of this programme is to prepare mature students and young adults, both personally and academically, for entry into undergraduate programmes in TU Dublin. The qualification awarded is a special purpose level 6 in higher education studies, carrying 60 ECT credits. So the programme, as I said, it's a special purpose level 6 award, which means that if you come and take the Access Foundation programme, and if you successfully complete the Access Foundation programme, we will offer you a place on a TU Dublin undergraduate programme. Specifically TU Dublin, we don't cover other universities, so just to bear that in mind. So next slide, please, Linda. So So we're a 1-year full-time program, access to higher education program at TU Dublin. Oh, sorry, I just read that. Sorry, that was
all the same one, is it? Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, Linda.
Okay, there we go.
And so the program, it's a year-long program, okay, and you have 22 hours of lectures a week, and with an average of 5 to 10 hours self-directed learning at home, we would expect from you. Our classes run from 9 to 4, Monday to Friday, on the Ainger Street campus. There's only one of our subjects that takes place in Grange Gorman, and that's our art portfolio class. There are 1 or 2 of the chemistry labs as well. They normally take place on a Tuesday, not every Tuesday. It might be, I think, 1 Tuesday a month or every 2nd Tuesday a month, but everything else is based in Ainger Street. There's no fees attached to the program. It's a free program for everybody who comes onto the program. Qualifying students, you're eligible for the Back to Education allowance, but you wouldn't be eligible for the SUSI grant, and that's because the program is free. And you would also be eligible for other student grants or the student assistance funds, which Linda has spoke about, but I'll speak about again in a minute or two. And our class sizes are usually between 20 to 25 students. We've over 100 students on the program this year. So yeah.
Right.
And then next, yeah. So what will you study on the AFP? So you'll develop the key skills and competencies required to succeed in college. So your core modules, which you must take, are applied writing, maths. So we've 3 different levels of maths. So your level of maths would suit your destination program. So for example, if you were doing marketing, you wouldn't need advanced maths. You'd probably look at intermediate fundamental. If you're doing social sciences, the same. If you're doing the likes of engineering and stuff, you'd be doing advanced maths. So that's the way that works. The same for the IT skills as well. Communication skills is another one of our core subjects. Introduction to higher ed, study skills, stroke research skills. So they're your core modules that you'll take from semester 1 and semester 1 and semester 2. So then jumping forward then to your elective subjects. So the way the elective subjects work is you'll pick 2 elective subjects per semester. Normally we have them color coded here. If you're going to do introduction to social sciences, typically you'd take humanities as well. Biology, chemistry, physics, they'd be all the same. Financial accounting and marketing would go hand in hand. Marketing would kind of go in with tourism and hospitality. Engineering, computer science would fall in line as well. Art portfolio, maybe humanities as well. You can pick and choose, but we kind of guide you to make sure that you make the right decisions for your destination program. In semester 2, you do have the option of changing. So you could come in and start off doing physics and biology and then decide, no, I want to do marketing and financial accounting. So we'd talk you through that, and we'd be able to help you if you wanted to switch. So there's no problem there. So your types of assessment. So for your core subjects, for all of your subjects, you would participate in group projects, presentations, in-class participation and discussion, essays, reports, blogs, multiple choice quizzes, practical lab reports, and exams. So you will only take an end of semester exam in your 2 elective subjects and in maths. So they'd be the only exams that you'd sit at the end of semester 1 and semester 2. So that's the way that works. Yeah. And so how do I pass and what happens next? So students are required to pass all core subjects, all core and option modules. So students who successfully complete the program are guaranteed an offer of an undergraduate place in TU Dublin. So upon successful completion, the students would have facilitated entry. You would fill in your CAO. And then we here at the Access Foundation program would sit down with your CAO choices. with your exam results with the admissions office, admissions board, and we would assign you a course of it if it's on your CAO. But obviously it depends on how well you do at the end of the year as well, as to, you know, if you're going to be offered a place in a desired you know, your top choice and stuff like that. So so student supports, Linda touched on a lot of these earlier on, but the programme supports career guidance and support choosing your undergraduate pathways. We'd always steer you in the right direction. As I said, you know, if you're already doing engineering, if you're doing engineering in semester one, you decide it's not for you and you want to switch across and do something else, we'll support you and we'll guide you along the way. Individual support with myself, there's always a queue outside the door, so it's a busy office here. We've small tutorial groups for maths and applied writing, and we have a very supportive and inclusive teaching environment in small classes. And just to say that the staff that teach on the programme are passionate about access. They really are so passionate about access. So just to throw that in there. I won't cover the TU Dublin supports because Linda's kind of gone through all that already. Oh, actually, sorry, I will. The Student Assistance Fund. We'd have a laptop loan scheme, which you can apply for. The Student Assisted Fund, which Linda has touched on, would cover the likes of accommodation, travel costs. This year, we actually were given a bursary of €5,000 from Mobility Ireland for lone parents. So that was a bursary that was given to us. So you could, I'm not sure whether we'll get it next year, but there's always kind of stuff like that coming on board as well. So yeah. So this is just really a breakdown of, we've had over 500 students on the programme, which is actually, those numbers are actually probably a little bit out of date. We probably have double that numbers by now since we started in 2009. And just gives you a bit of a breakdown of where students are going. You know, I won't read through them all, you can see them all there, but that just kind of gives you an idea. I will say this year we have quite a lot of students who are interested in engineering and social sciences. And again, Linda touched on that earlier on as well. There are a good number of students as well who are interested in computing and digital data as well. So yeah, that's just a breakdown. And again, that's kind of something similar of the destinations of where their students have gone over the last couple of years. So applications can be made for the programme directly through the online application form. So if you read through the application candidate brief before commencing the application, after we receive applications, suitable candidates are shortlisted and are called for an informal interview. Now, the word interview terrifies me, and I'm sure it terrifies a lot of people. It's not an interview. It is an interview, but it's an informal chat. Yeah, it's just a chat just to get you used to myself and my colleagues here on the programme, and just to kind of give you a bit of a, you know, to kind of make you feel at ease and give you a bit of an idea of what to expect. And just really to make sure that you're willing to, you know, to come on board and participate. The first round application deadline is the 30th of May. So anyone who applies now, the applications won't be reviewed until after the 30th of May. So don't panic if you haven't heard back from us. We will be reviewing them all after 30th of May. And then if we don't fill all our places, then we will reopen up again. Now, just to say, on the TU Dublin website, it says that the Leave Cert application form won't be open until August, but that's actually going to be reviewed next week, and we will be opening it up early next week for our Leave Cert students. So if we've any Leave Cert students on here or guidance counsellors on here, just bear with us. We will have that application open next week. So yeah, that's really it. So the next slide is just my information. If anybody wants to get in contact, it's my email address and the mobile number. So please feel free to reach out, and you know, we're always happy to help you and to answer any questions that we can. So yeah.
Great, thanks very much, Susan.
No problem, Linda. Thank you.
And I think we're probably going to get some questions on, the whole application process in just a couple of minutes. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stop sharing. We're going to meet some of our students, but I just want to identify to you now. Obviously, the sooner you get your application in, the better. Like a lot of people tend to procrastinate over and leave it and leave it and leave it. Um, if you're thinking to yourself, okay, I'm a mature student, I've applied to the CAO, I'm going to wait and see what I get there. What I would say to you is don't wait, apply to us now. It doesn't matter if we make an offer to you early and then you get a CAO place, that's absolutely fine. Just, it allows us to kind of manage our applications and understand where we are right now. And if it's something that you're interested in, doing. As you can see, it's a very valuable program. Zero fees for students, and the assistance that you get, the one-on-one help from Susan. I know, like a lot of students really love it, and they really thrive in the environment because people are nervous to come back, having perhaps not been in that environment before. But as Susan mentioned at the very outset of this webinar, education is for everybody. It shouldn't be thought of as a privilege. It is for everybody. And we want people to come in. We want people from all different backgrounds. TU Dublin is a very, very diverse, large university with people from all different backgrounds. So don't be thinking, oh, I'm scared I wouldn't be able for this. Don't let the interview put you off. I know myself and Susan had a lovely chat earlier on, and she was talking to me about how nervous she was about giving this webinar. So everybody's human, and we're here to assist you. So, no matter what level you're starting at, start with us because we are here to help you. We're going to hear from some of our lovely students now. So we're going to hear all about it. So, and Megan, my colleague Megan, is just going to put in some of our contact details as well. Susan has put in her contact details, but just in terms of admissions as well, if you have any questions and you need any further assistance, you can contact us and we'll put you in contact with Susan, etc. If you can't get her, obviously we are on the front end of the website, so we're much easier to access. So we're going to meet Ava. Ava is a student on the program, and she's a current student. So you're very welcome, Ava, and thanks for joining us this evening. So Ava, a lot of the people on here this evening are very interested to find out what it's like to be a student on this program. So can you tell us, first of all, maybe how you heard about the program?
Yeah, thanks so much, Linda. So hi everyone, I hope everybody's well. My name's Ava Whelan and I'm 20 years old, and I started the Access programme in early September of last year, and I'm into my second semester now. So basically before the programme I sat my Leaving Cert in 2022, but during my Leaving Cert time I had a severe illness and I underwent major surgery. So I missed out on 6 months of skill. I missed out on so much career guidance. So when it came to the CAO and places, I obviously didn't get a place. I was unsuccessful, which was really disheartening because I always had a dream of going to university. So I sat a PLC then, and that was also unsuccessful because I was sick all during this time as well. So that's when the TU Dublin Access saved the day. So I basically went to a open day last year. Last year, and I found out about the program because I didn't really have any idea what I wanted to do. So I found out about the program during the open day, and I got in contact with Susan then, and she organised an interview with me. And then, like Susan was saying, I obviously had a panic attack when I heard the word interview, but she couldn't have made it an easier process. Like when I went in, like she said, it was very informal. Like she made me feel so comfortable. She told me about the program, and then I was obviously delighted going out, and she gave me a place then.
Okay.
So with
Great.
that, I started then in September, and since September, I've had so much career guidance. Like it's unbelievable. I found out about so many courses that I had no idea about. So I'm heading towards clinical measurement science at the minute. I have a huge interest in that. I worked in St James's Hospital for 2 years as a healthcare assistant in the diagnostic department. So that was a huge field of interest of mine. And just all the teachers, all the lecturers have been phenomenal. Anytime I need help, they're always there.
Give you
There's
help.
so yeah, exactly. Like I said, there's so much guidance, and I'm just really enjoying the program overall. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I've had nothing but positive impact. Everyone has had nothing but a positive impact on me. And also we had Paul McManus, who's on the call with us now. He had a talk with us there a few weeks ago. He was very inspiring. He told us about his journey before the program and how it got him to where he is today. And I just think it's amazing. And I hope, like, my future will, in the near future, I'll be able to tell everyone about how I was on the program and how much it impacted me and changed my life completely.
You were so successful, yeah. And it sounds like you've had a really tough time, Ava. So, like, well done on getting to here. What was your biggest fear, Ava, do you think, when you were starting?
So, like, my biggest fear was probably, like, the first part was getting in, because I went for the interview and I was like, oh God, I really hope I get a place now, because I heard such amazing things about it.
Right.
And then obviously Susan contacted me and told me that I got the place, and I was over the moon. And probably just, like, I didn't know, because everything else, like, because I was robbed of an education before, due to my illness, and more so the fact that I didn't really have any idea what I wanted to do. My biggest fear was just hoping that the Access program would save the day, and I can confidently say that it did, because I had no idea what I wanted to do. Now I found it so easy to apply to the CAO, because I had so much guidance on how to apply to it, and two, I had so much information on the courses at TU Dublin that I was easily able to apply. So yeah, that I didn't really have any fears when I started,
So
because everything was
that
just
has
so
helped
easy.
you. And come here,
Yeah,
you know, for most people, they're probably on the call today thinking, I don't know what I want to do, but I feel like I need to start somewhere. And I think that that's a huge piece for somebody coming into the Access Foundation. Like, they know that they want to do something. And for
yeah,
those of you, half of you may be on the call today thinking, oh, I want to work in social care, I want to work in this, I want to work in that. And then the other half of you might be on the call thinking, I don't know what I want to do, but I know that I want to start. And I think this is a huge opportunity to start for so many people. And, like, for you, Ava, as you said, you had like an illness, you missed out on your leaving cert, you didn't get the CAO or whatever. And that's your story. And somebody else may have a completely different story on here. Because there's so many people and so many different backgrounds of people. I know we did quite a number of Ukrainian students had come on to the program and when they came. And so there's people from all different backgrounds doing this program for different reasons. But ultimately, the goal's the same, is to get yourself into, get yourself going, get yourself into university and get onto your pathway. Like, and it sounds like you have a clear plan in your head, Ava, about what you want to do, clinical measurement science, which was one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. What did you
yeah.
want to do? So clinical measurement science is what you're hoping for, Ava, is it?
Yeah, so I had no idea what I wanted to do, and then I heard about this program. I did lots of research. Also spoke to students who are currently on the program now, who
Right.
had nothing but good to say about it. Um, and then obviously I have my higher education class, where I found out lots about the program and insights into it, and all about the work experience that you do. There's also an opportunity there for Erasmus as well, which I'd love to do in the near
Do love
future.
to do. Yeah.
So yeah, I
Great.
found out so much about it, and I, please
So
God,
you're
I hope
aiming
it's
high,
starting soon.
Ava.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Good
exactly.
woman. Good for you. That's fantastic. And then I think I just have one more question. Like, your overall experience, like, if you were to kind of give one tip to anybody on here today about, like, getting started applying and the course itself, what would you say to them to do?
I just say research, 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 and never be afraid to ask. Because when I was in school, the only ever thing that I kind of knew about was a PLC. I had never heard of an access program up until last year, up until I attended the open day. So my advice to leaving cert students now is go out there, research, ask people who are in the field where they want to go, attend open days, like really make the effort, because if I could go back now and know what to do, I'd
Would have
be
made a
ahead of
huge difference
myself
to you.
now. Yeah, it would have made it so much easier. And obviously, like, I had the illness, etc., that kind of got in the way. But I had no idea about this program, and only that I found out about it, I was like, oh my God, I wish I knew sooner, because I'd have probably been here 2 years ago rather than now.
Mm-hmm. And some maybe you would have and maybe not, but
Yeah,
you're here
exactly.
now.
Yeah,
That's the important
yeah,
thing,
that's
Ava.
the
And you
main
sound like
thing.
you're
Yeah,
really enjoying it and that you're loving it. So, I mean, that's amazing. And sometimes when you're a little bit older, you might be like, oh, I'm ready for the challenge now, but maybe,
yeah.
not before. So, look, that's fantastic. Now, we do have Mohammed here with us as well. Do we have Mohammed as a speaker, Megan? Would you look there to see if we can get Mohammed as a speaker while we are on the call? But we might come to Paul in the meantime while we're sorting Mohammed out there. So Paul, thanks for joining us. So you're a former student of this program. And now you're doing a PhD, I understand, but maybe you could tell us a little bit about your experience and how you came to start this program in the first place, and maybe a little bit about how you got to where you are now.
Well, basically, I came on as a mature student. Not that I'm that mature half the time, but it's just for those people out there who are considered mature students. There's nothing to be afraid of. And when I started, I actually recall back in the day, maths was my big fear. Maths was something that terrified me. And something that's coming out from the theme here, with what we're talking here tonight, was support, 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 support. And that got me through the first year. And then when I moved on, I chose Chinese and international business, which was fantastic.
Wow,
Chinese. I was able to go away for a year. And I just dove straight into academic life, as in a university life. I made some incredible friends. I wrote down here socializing, and socializing is a huge part of the Access program. You have this diverse group of people from all around the world, and there's nothing to be afraid of. And Ava said something there. I said in the talk I was doing for Ava's class, I learned the power of putting up your hand and asking for help. And every time you put your hand up, somebody's going to help you. And that's the great thing I feel about this university, because over the past couple of years, I'm now lecturing in organizational psychology and other subject matter. So I've been to Trinity College, I've been to other universities, and this isn't a sales pitch, by the way. But what I've noticed about this university is it's grounded. The staff and the people working here are very grounded. And that means the doors are easily open to walk in and ask for assistance. And that's huge, particularly from where you guys are thinking about coming from. So my journey was an exciting one. It will lead me on to even some other exciting things in the future. But it all started with what you guys are probably going to sign up to do. So my journey I wouldn't have been able to complete this journey without having the Access program back in the day. Yeah. And I dare say some of them are still my friends to this day, which is amazing.
And I think it's a really good point. And I know a lot of people would say that, and even we were just talking to some students there recently, and some of the students were saying they were talking to their friends who were in different universities about their labs in college, and they're talking to the lecturer and like shooting the breeze with the lecturer. And the other students are like, oh my God, we wouldn't even dream of speaking to the lecturer, like, because they're just so far removed from them. But I think the beauty about TU Dublin is those small classes where you can get to know your lecturers, that you can put up your hand and ask a question, and that everybody in your class. I think people really like that, and that they have those smaller classes. Can you remember, Paul, back to when you done the program? What was your biggest fear, do you think, when you were starting out? Oh, you're on mute there. We're losing you, Paul.
No, we're on mute now.
Yeah, we have you there again. Yeah.
And the big thing for me was the simple word, am I able? Am I able to do this? And that's where the Access program blew me away, because it wasn't a high level, what one would describe as university level kind of drilling of knowledge. The core modules that were shown earlier on, they were very, the teachers were very approachable. It was easy to learn because I was able, and that was instilled within me. to get rid of that fear. And once that fear was gone, and I understood I was part of a bigger clan, it became like a clan kind of setting. It kind of dissipated and went away. And there I am using words like dissipated. Back in my day, I won't be using big words like marmalade and stuff like that, But you do find your language changes and your way of thinking changes. And it's just from being around people, like-minded people who want the same goals in life, and that's simply to succeed or be a little bit better than what they were yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
And I think that's very true. Like I would envisage that a lot of the people on the call here this evening who are thinking about maybe studying this program or coming to university for the first time are thinking it's going to be so hard. I won't be able. They have all those doubts. And I know the matures are another group that I often meet, and they're so worried about how they're going to get on. But funnily, like the fact that you're even worried sometimes about how good you're going to be means that you're probably going to be better than you think you are, and that's what we're here for. We're here to re-engage people and bring them back into education for whatever reason they haven't been here in the first place, and for some people that might be because of an illness, like you have said, Adrian or Ava, because of family circumstances, maybe they just fell out of education because something happening in their family. You just don't know. But that doesn't mean that you're not able for things. It just means that you got to us a different way, And at the end of the day, I always say to students, and I know in the presentation that I do, and we have like progression within TU Dublin where you can start and build on your programs. It doesn't matter what way you come into TU Dublin, whether you come straight in on a level 8 on 600 points, or whether you come in on an Access Foundation programme or PLC or whatever. It just matters what way you leave us in a couple of years. And some people will come in on the highest points and won't stay with us for 6 weeks because it's not what they thought. And then some people will come in on an Access Foundation programme. And like Paul, yourself, you're doing a PhD all of a sudden, guys. So that's what you have to remember. And sometimes when you have a little bit more resilience because you've been through a few different things, when you come in here, you're like, okay, I'm ready for this. I'm doing it now, and you might be scared, but you can push yourself on through. So just remember that. Do we have Mohammed there? Can we get him on there? Can you access the platform, Mohammed? I see you are a speaker.
Hello.
There.
Can you hear me?
Great. We can.
Can you hear me?
Have you got a camera there that you can turn on, or no?
It's turned on. Do you see me? No.
Maybe you're on the second page.
Can you see me?
I've that many. We can see you there. How are you, Mohammed?
Right.
And thanks for coming on this evening. So, Mohammed, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience then of the Access Foundation program? How did you hear about it, and why did you end up doing it?
Yeah. So first of all, I want to apologize for being in the street. I just finished my lecture at 6. So
okay.
I'm still in the middle of the way, but I really think that it's very important for me to share my experience to you guys, because I think there might be a few people who have similar experiences to mine, and my words might convince them to do certain things, and hopefully they'll be for the better. So I came to Ireland in 2017, and I had terrible English. I had no English. I went to English school for 8 months, and then I went to the Leaving Cert. And when I went to the Leaving Cert, I got my first biology exam or test, and I got 0 on it. So I was like, oh my God, yeah, well, there's no way we're passing this. But thankfully, I had a very nice teacher, and she told me to redo the test and go memorize the words, do anything in my power. And then slowly and slowly, I worked. I was like waking up at 6 every day, don't get back home until 9, going to libraries after school. And still, I barely managed to scrape 220 points from the Leaving Cert. And to me, I felt like I could do more, but I felt like I want to do more. I have the drive. I want to do more, but I just didn't have the time. So I went to a few PLC courses. Somewhere there was one course that I went to and it was good. There was 2 more PLC courses that were not for me. And I really wanted to go to do game design in the future. And I found the Access course through research. I just looked it up and, well, not it, but I found like the Access course that it would allow you to go to TU Dublin if you do pass it. And I was like, okay, I want to go see what this course is. And then I started filling the applications. I was very nervous. I was so scared. It took me like so long. I was
Everybody's so
feeling that.
afraid of us, and we're so nice.
Yeah, I think it's because it's a university, and
Yes.
it is. For me personally, I felt shame. I was ashamed of myself for, not being able to do better before. And I was like, oh my God, will they take me? I wasn't doing so well before. What if I go there and they go like, oh no, he doesn't fit what we want? And I think I have this misconception. But the access course is really trying to set you up for university. It's trying to help you. You are someone who's not prepared. This course will prepare you. And when I did come to this course, I wanted to do game design. It's a course in Grange Gorman. And after doing some computer science, I found that I enjoyed that. So I completely changed what I wanted. And now I do computer science first year in Grange Gorman. I love it. I didn't even know. It wasn't even near my list of things that I might want to do. And just because by going to the access course and experiencing the computer science for me personally, I was like, wow, I didn't even know I could enjoy this. And this is one way that I feel the access course really helps, because it gives you a few bits and pieces of modules, and you're like, okay, I enjoy this one a lot, you know. And the lectures, as everyone has been saying, the teachers, they are so lovely. They are like, I feel in this university we have very, very strong sense of community. Like you don't feel like you're abandoned in a way. If you're stuck on something, if you're genuinely stuck and you want to improve, they will do so much to help you. And that's one thing that I really, really appreciate. That is one thing that really helped me. For example, for me, before I was barely able to get passes. I did the access course. I was very, very focused, very, very focused to a funny degree. Some of my classmates were like, you're too focused. But I was like, I'm too scared of failing. So I was too scared of failing. So I said, I will do my best. I'll give it my all. And now I am in the first year. And the students that did do well on their leaving cert and got very high points, the students that got over 500 points, they are more confused than me on the first year. I am going there. Sometimes I might be asleep because I'm like, we did this. I know stuff. So that's one thing that really helps. It makes the first year a lot more manageable. The students that managed to get to the level 8 courses, they got like insane points to get to these courses, and they go there and they're struggling because they haven't been prepared for university. They only have known secondary school. But for us, if you do the access course, you'll be a very happy person.
And I mean, it's very true, Mohammed. I think that a lot of secondary school students, and they don't think about that, like there is a big gap to bridge between secondary school and college, because all of a sudden you just become totally responsible for everything, and your teacher's not going to be there saying, why aren't you here? And and I know you get a lot more assistance in the Access Foundation program, but it really gives you that experience of what it's like to be a student in university as well, so that when you eventually do go into the first year of your program proper, let's just say, you already feel like you've covered all that, you've learned all that bit, you have mastered all that bit, and you can focus really on the course. And as you said, you've covered some of the modules already that you're going to do in first year, so you feel like you're nearly ahead, and it's given you that kind of leg up to get going. And you feel encouraged, and you can ask for help, which is great.
One heads up to the students that do apply. Believe me, trust the process. Trust the process. That's all I can tell you. Trust the process. Keep pushing, keep doing it, and you will not regret it. If it is a thing that you feel like you want to do more in an educational manner, you feel like you want to do more, you have that desire, I tell you, trust me, just trust the process. It will be frustrating at times. And some modules you might go like, I don't even care about this. Why would I do this? You don't even know how it's helping you. It's preparing you in many ways. Like, for example, for me, I am bad at English. I don't like writing essays. I don't even want to go near them. But doing the...
Yeah, we've lost Mohammed there. And I was really enjoying that. Go ahead,
sorry.
We missed you there. You
Can you hear
skipped a
me?
little bit
Can you hear
there.
me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the last thing you heard?
Just telling us to trust the process and that you don't
Yes,
like English essays.
yes. Yeah. And when I was doing the applied writing, which is one of the core modules, I was like, oh my God, not this again. I don't want to do English. But it helped me so much, even in just writing my emails. Now I write I write the most killer emails. Every time I'm sending something to the lecture, they respond to me like in the most professional manner. They don't respond to me as if I am a student. They're like, wow.
This guy knows how to write an email. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, like it helps you. It helps you in so many ways that you don't even realize. So trust the process. Keep going. Don't give up. That's what got me through. I had many friends who went through similar life situations, and they were like, "It's just not for me." And I was like, "I understand. I feel when I go to university, I am very, very stressed. I sit there. I don't understand what the lecturer is talking about. I'm like, oh my God, should I be here?" But if you keep pushing just a little bit, and then you will get the results that you desire. That's my advice. I really hope that I hope you do well in life. If you have any questions, please ask me. Don't worry.
Thank you, Mohammed. And it's great to hear like the 3 different points of view from 2 students. So we've one person who's gone a few years through and is a PhD and a lecturer. We have a young lady here who's just in the middle of the program, and then we've Mohammed who's in his first year in computer science. And what really struck me there was what I said kind of a little bit earlier, is that sometimes you have to start, and sometimes you're starting with something in your head, and halfway through the year you're like, actually no, that's not what I want. I want to do computer science. I never thought I was going to want to do computer science, but you know, that's what I want to do. Because I think what often happens with people is they have this vision in their head about what a certain subject looks like, and it's only when they kind of dig deep and explore what it's like at university level that they kind of find out actually computer science is really much more creative than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was all numbers and keyboards and all that kind of stuff, but actually there's a whole story behind it. It's creative and I like it. So this year will also help you discover a lot of that as well. So thanks to Mohammed and to Paul and to Ava. It was great to hear from you. So we've about 2 or 3 minutes left, and some of you may have been adding your questions into the chat there. If anybody else wants to add a question in there, just about the you know, about the course, please do. The entrance test is structured. So basically just in terms of the entrance, I might ask you, Susan, maybe you might just tell us a little bit how you assess people's applications when they apply.
Thanks, Linda. So the applications are actually processed or assessed through the Access Office, the Access Outreach Office, which is our kind of sister pairing. So they would look after there's certain criteria that you have to meet. So for example, if you're coming from a DESH school, if there's family, if you come from a socioeconomic background, mature student, if you're maybe in the social care system, if you're on international protection, stuff like that, it's all the applications go to them to be assessed, and you must meet 3 of their criteria. Now, it might be the same criteria, but 3 of the criteria, you must tick the box. So what'll happen is then they'll come back to us and say, yes, Ava Whelan meets the criteria. And then we'll write out, we have about a week or 2 that we have people coming in for interviews. And that's how we assess it. That's how we'd assess students then. Probably based on their level of English as well, for a lot of students. Now we are looking, the program's actually been not overhauled, but it's under kind of a review at the moment. So we are kind of looking at different ways, because the English language barrier has kind of cropped up in the last couple of years. So we are kind of looking at that a little bit as well. But that's really how it's done, as I said, to meet the 3 different criteria. And then you'll come in, have an interview, and we will then offer you a place based on your interview. There's nothing set in stone. There may be a small English test as well. But as I said, we're under review at the moment, so we may be looking at that. But again, it's nothing like it's not a test. it's not, it's just really just to see what the levels of English are and stuff like that. So that's the way that works. Yeah.
Susan, we just have one other query there just from a South African student. So from an international student, is this program available to international students in the same way as it is for European students? Or is it predominantly for students who have the residency here?
No, it's not predominantly for students who have their residency here. No, it's not. Now, there is a sister program, the International Access Program, but there are fees associated with that program. They're kind of the sister programs, and there are fees that are attached to that program. So Carol Craig, who is my colleague here, she's actually on the call here. I can pop Carol's details into the chat, or if anyone has any queries.
I might ask Carol just to elaborate on that for us very briefly, Carol, just in relation to, so say we have students who are on the call who are not necessarily resident here in Ireland, who might be interested in doing an Access Foundation style programme. I know we have that International Access Foundation programme. Maybe give us a quick brief on who that's suitable for, Carol, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So the difference between the Access Foundation and the International Foundation will be the Access Foundation will be for students who are already in Ireland. So they're already arrived and they're resident in Ireland, and they have a kind of a residency permit, and they're entitled to remain in Ireland. The International Foundation year would be for students who wish to come to Ireland under a study visa. So if you want to come to Ireland and have your international study visa, you'd come in on the International Foundation programme. So the Access programme would be for students already, you don't have to have an Irish passport or anything, but you do have to be resident in Ireland already to access that programme, or the EU, yeah.
And so students who don't have that can apply to the International Foundation programme for that. What are the fees associated, Carol? Do you know off the top of your head, or we can have Megan just have a quick look
the International Foundation, the fees are 12,500 per year.
For a year. Okay, that's great. Thanks very much. We just have one other question there from Danielle in relation to the CAO. Guys, this programme is not involved with the CAO. It's direct application to the university. You apply to the university. The rules of the CAO do not apply. We do not assess on points. We assess on our own criteria, and we're not stuck to offer dates, etc., in relation to the CAO at all whatsoever. It's all done internally in TU Dublin. Okay, so you apply before the 30th of May, you'll be assessed, and then you can be offered, when those assessments are done. You don't have to wait for CAO round offers. Now, if it's the case that you're applying to the CAO as well, and you get an offer from us, and then you get an offer from the CAO, you can decide what you want to do yourself. If you've an offer from us on this program, and then you get a CAO offer and you think, oh, I want to do the CAO, you can take the CAO and you can come back to us and just telling us that you're not taking up this place. But again, for those of you, I want you to really think about how this prepares you for university as well. If you feel that you're kind of in between, maybe you're as well to do this year. As we heard from Mohammed there, he feels now that he's nearly ahead of some of the students in his year, because he's nailed down how to do college as well as the work. So look, we're a little bit over our time here, so I'm going to wrap up the questions. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. As I mentioned at the very start of the webinar, this is recorded, and over the next day or two, what we will do is we will download this video, we'll attach it to an email, and we will send it to everybody who is registered on the programme. If you have any questions, we will also include the coordinator email addresses, etc. But we really hope to see some of you here with us in September coming. So listen, thanks very much to everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening.